Hello, everyone. This is What's Up Wednesday for July 10th. We're going to be covering best practices for single property websites. So we're going to be going through a few do's and don'ts for making your property website stand out, or just things you should or should not do when using the single property websites. Next week, we're going to go through personal websites, how to add content, the new layouts, how they're newer layouts, how easy they are to customize and everything. So we're going to be going through that. A few things I want to go through with everyone. I know I mention it almost every time, but I think it's just really important. Are different ways you can connect with us. We do have our What's Up Wednesday YouTube channel. If you don't know how to get to that, on your dashboard, you're going to see the What's Up Wednesday box, and you just have to click on Missed It to get on over there. Excuse me. And subscribe to that channel. That way you'll always be notified when a new video has been uploaded. We do upload them. They're usually there a few hours after What's Up Wednesday. And if you haven't noticed, there's a blog that goes along with it. We do blogs that go along with them just to give you some additional information or even some ideas of how to use certain things. So you can check those out there as well. Also, don't forget to join our Agent Marketing Facebook group. It is a closed community of other agents and users of the system where you can go to ask questions on different features. You can bounce ideas off of other people. You can ask them for successes, problems, anything like that can be done through the group. This group is also where we put in tidbits of information. It's also where we allow you guys to beta test features before they're put out to the public. So you can be our little test group. And this is where you will find where you can join back. It's called the Agent Marketing Community if you search it on Facebook. This tile right here does change. So if you see something else there, I'll show you what I mean by that. Like this. Of course, we'd love for you to review us on Google or Facebook. You can do that too. But if you see something like this here, then you can always just refresh your screen until you see the Facebook. There's a couple of different ones we have here, but then it'll eventually change over to the Facebook community page. So then you can just join that from there. I'll get it back there. There it is. Okay, so there's about 4 different tiles there. So you can join that Facebook group there. Another thing is just to join not just the Agent Marketing Community Facebook page, but the Agent Marketing page as well, because that's where we talk about new features and stuff too. But you get a lot more inside information on that community group. Another channel you may or may not know about is another YouTube channel that we have that's called AM Network, Agent Marketing Network, but it's just AM Network. This is where we have different videos, different from What's Up Wednesday, different from anything else. We do give little tidbits on different features, but we also have some really cool videos. We have 2 new ones uploaded, we have 1 new one uploaded, but there's 2 here. Social media strategies with a social media expert. Oops, I didn't mean to click on it. With a social media expert. And then we also have search engine optimization techniques with an SEO expert. We do different interviews with different experts in different fields. We put those on this AM Network channel. You can come here and subscribe to this channel as well, so that you know whenever we do upload a new video to this one. But this is great information, really good strategies you can follow. So definitely check out this. If you're searching for this channel on YouTube, just type in AM Network, no spaces. Otherwise, it won't come up. So AM Network, no spaces. Okay, so on to today's topic, best practices for single property websites. With a single property website, you can showcase all of the best features of the property, give people a lot of information about it, about the area, and different things like that. So it's a really good way to showcase a listing without being there in person. The more information you can give someone about a listing is a good thing. The less information may just turn them off altogether. I know when I'm looking at homes, If it's got 3 pictures and they're all of the exterior, I'm moving on. I have zero interest. Are they hiding something? Is there something wrong? You know, give a great view of the house with the photos, but I'll get into that later. First things first, we're going to cover 5 big things, maybe a few more if I think of things as I go. One big thing, and this comes from years of us looking at different sites here and working with different people, but one big thing we've noticed frequently is phone number, your phone number as an agent. Having your phone number with no spacing makes it very difficult for anyone to read. And I can personally attest to this, calling people. If there's no spaces in the phone number, there's a very high likelihood of getting a number wrong. This is a sample property website that we're going to be looking at today, one of them. And you're going to see down here in the bottom left corner, Mark Agent's mobile number. Now, tell me that that is difficult to read. Not only is it all smushed together with no dashes or dots, but it's small. But that small is okay, but if you had the dashes or the dots, the periods, it would make it so much easier to read. Now, if your number is all squished together, it's difficult to read. No spaces can lead to errors when dialing the number, and then you may not get that lead that you thought was coming through. Instead, space it out. We've got a different example. When you space it out, see right here how easy that is to read. It's so much easier to read like that. You want to make sure people can reach you. So this is one easy way to make sure that people are getting through to you. Just check that phone number. Now you're probably asking, okay, I don't remember where to change my phone number at. Really easy. You'll see where your photo is in the top left corner. If you click on edit, that is where you can edit your phone number. You can put just 1 in if you want. You can put 2 if you want to put a mobile and an office number if you want to have different, if you want to have 2 different numbers, 2 different ways to get there. So yeah, so you can change it from the edit button on the where your photo is. Click on that, edit the phone number there. Really simple, really easy change. Just can help get people through easier. Another next thing we're going to go through is personal information, and this goes back to the same page that we're on. You want to make sure that all of your information is correct and up to date. And I know that sounds really silly, but from our years here, it is surprising how many times we'll see an email address that isn't a valid email address, or a website address that is not going anywhere, or a phone number that doesn't have enough digits. So just come through this screen and check it out really quick. Email address, company name and address, your website address. That website address is important so that they can click through to your website from the single property website, because you'll see here on the single property website for one of your listings, there's a visit website button. Can you see that right here? This visit website button will take them right over to your website. What do you think would happen if they clicked on that and it didn't go to a valid page? That doesn't make the agent look very good when the website that they visit, that this potential client visits, is not even a working website. So always make sure that that is valid. If you don't have one, you do not have to put anything in this field, and then that area on the property website will not show up. So if you don't have one, you can just leave that blank. Just remember, this does trickle down to just about this information, goes down to just about anything you create in the system. So it goes down to the single property websites like we just been talking about. It goes down to the personal website if you're using that feature with us, these landing pages, email signatures for email drip campaigns. All of that is branded with your information. So you definitely want to make sure it is all good to go. So you can look here, he has no photo. You know, it really makes it look a little bit more professional when you've got everything in there that should be. Have your photo so people know who they're dealing with. your information, your website, your email address. Just have all of that stuff in there. That way people can really get to know, like I said, what you look like so they can relate. They know where you work and things like that. So this is how people get in contact with you. So make sure that they can get in contact with you. Giving them more than one way is also a benefit. You know, make sure you have an email address. You can have 2 phone numbers there. That way they have more than one way to reach you if they like. Some people don't like to call. So you give them an email address, then, you know, you give them that second way to get a hold of you. So that's a good thing. The next topic we will cover is the property website description or any other verbiage for that matter. Please, please, no typos. It only takes a few minutes to read through and proofread your information to make sure there are no typos. Typos look unprofessional and can be very easily avoided. Again, from experience here, we've all seen it. It just doesn't look professional when you have typos in the description or in the, you know, title or anything like that. Just run through it real quick. Make sure it looks good. It's spaced the way you want it to be. You can do one of 2 things to proofread this information. I'll just show you real quick. If you go to property on the left side of the screen and then properties, you can click on edit for that listing down in the bottom left corner, and then click on the property section here, and you can edit it or proofread it here to make sure everything's okay, and then you can just make changes as you go here. Another thing while I'm on this screen is this features area right here. If your listing has some really cool features or some features that you want to stand out, list them down here. That way they can show up as features. They'll be more prominent on the website. So you can edit or proofread your description here, or you can just go to view the property website, which I think is a really good thing to do before you start advertising it. You click to view it, just click on the main photo, and that's going to open up the property website, and then you can just read it up here, and if you need to make changes, you can go back to that edit section. I highly recommend making sure you preview your website too before you start advertising it, just to make sure everything looks right. You've got everything on there that you want. Again, something that takes just a few minutes, even just a minute, to make sure everything looks really, really good. Even if you don't think you're a good proofreader, if you're like, I'm a horrible speller, I have no idea if this grammar's right, just have a friend or a family member or even just a coworker look it over really quickly. Remember, this is your brand. This is you. This website is representing you as an agent and your business. So you want to make sure it's got the best, it looks the best it can, and everything is, all the I's are dotted and T's are crossed for sure. Okay, so next subject we're going to be covering is photos for a listing. 2 areas of advice here. Have a lot of photos and make sure they're high definition. We recommend at least 20 photos. At least 20 photos from different areas of the house. If you have 4 photos and they are all of the outside of the house, do you think someone's going to be interested? Probably not. They'll probably move along to another property that has more photos. So I'll make sure you have more in there. Make sure you have photos of the outside of the house, all the rooms, the backyard, and anything else you think might interest people, and bring them in. If there's a really cool feature of the house, make sure you get a couple of pictures of that. If there's something really neat in the community, put some of those on there. I know near us, there is a community that has a water park and all kinds of really neat things for kids. I would add things like that into the property website. If this community has something like that, you can always add those in too. The other half of this is making sure they are high definition. There's nothing worse than having a blurry, grainy photo on a website to promote a listing. You'll see a big difference. You'll see this listing is nice and clear. The photo is crisp. and you can see every detail of it. Now I have a different website here. Whoops, that's not it. The other one is this one. You'll notice this photo area is very large. High definition photo would fill up this entire area and make this layout look really nice. But you'll see these photos are very small, even blurry from some angles. So you want to make sure you have high definition photos up here. If you have a camera, that's easy. You can take high definition photos. A photographer, of course, can do the high definition photos. Most phones these days will take high definition photos. If you're not sure what makes a high definition photo, a good rule of thumb is the larger the photo size, the larger the file size. If you want more specifics, you can just call our support team. But really and truly, most phones will take high definition photos these days. And it doesn't say much for the property or you if you've got these little bitty, blurry, grainy photos. Now, I will, just a little piece of advice or just another something that might help. I know a lot of people have their accounts set up to automatically pull the listings in from the MLS. And for some MLSs, they will pull in the high definition photos if those high definition photos are on the MLS. Sometimes the MLSs will pass those to us. However, some, I think the majority, maybe don't pass on high definition photos. If that's the case, but you do have high definition photos, like they're high definition, like saved on your computer, it's really easy to just go and upload those really quickly to the listing. You can pull in the low definition ones from the MLS and then just come back to your properties page here. Click on this little camera in the top left corner of that listing. Then click on Photo Gallery. And then just click on Upload Pics. It'll open up your files on your computer. You can upload them really quickly that way just to make sure they're HD. Now, you'll also see in this photo gallery area, each image lets you know this photo is HD. It says it right there where the image is. I would highlight it, but it won't let me. Image 2 is HD. Image 3 is HD. If it's not, it will say image 3, not HD. So then you would know. So that's where you can do upload the photos really easily from there. Another thing about having blurry photos and small, low resolution photos on your website is it not only is it going to mess up your homepage to where the photos look like this, but it's also going to make the virtual tour blurry. It's going to make the photo gallery blurry, the YouTube video blurry. So you can see how this is just a trickle effect of things that just could be avoided if you just could get some high definition photos uploaded. Okay, so on to the last part I want to talk about. This is property website description SEO. One thing about property descriptions I will say is that the better the description, the better you're going to pull someone into this listing. You can get them really interested when you've got a good description. Like if you look at this, it says, this delightful home is sure to captivate you from the moment you walk in the door, completely updated throughout with elegant modern touches. Original features have been retained to uphold the home's classic appeal. Then you go on to say, rich hardwoods gleam in every room, offset beautifully by the crisp white finish of the solid interior doors. You can see where I'm going with this. It's really detailed and it's really something that pulls the audience in. Because it gives them this like feeling, the warm and fuzzy feeling of they can start to imagine what it would be like to be in that home, okay? So this is a good description. Let's look at our other website, our no-no website, so to speak. Okay, so the description on this says this home currently has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths that has a nice backyard. The kitchen is updated some, as are the bedrooms and bathrooms. Now, that does not give me any information, and nor am I interested in that listing at all, because there's nothing that's going to pull me in with that description. There is no SEO in that description at all, and there's nothing that's going to give me the warm and fuzzies in that description. So that's when you go back to this description. Yes, it's going to take a few more minutes, but I really can make a difference for a listing. When you talk about property website description SEO, you'll want to select a key phrase that you use throughout the description content. It could be something special about the home or the area. Keywords, meta descriptions, you may have heard a thing of the past. The content has become the golden ring of the website. There is a, if you're wondering how to go about doing this whole keyword thing, SEM Rush has a great short article regarding the use of key phrases. That's S as in Sam, E as in Emily, M as in Mary, Rush, R-U-S-H. And they have and there's lots of articles out there how to do it. You literally could just type in SEO for a website and you'll get some really good information. But a keyword about something in the house or the community, really good. But on top of that, just having a really great description is also super helpful for bringing in those people, because they really get a feeling for the property with descriptions like this. I've even seen, there's another idea, is I've seen websites where it may be just because it was an older property with a lot of history, but they had the seller write the description. They gave lots of personal stories about the listing, things that they did with their kids growing up there, which really is another step up as far as property descriptions go. So if you have a listing like that, or you have a seller that would be willing to do that, that could be a really cool thing to add on to for that description. A really, really neat way to bring people in. I've seen that a couple of times. But that is all we are going to cover in this best practices for property websites. If you have any questions about anything, we're going to open it up to questions here for a few minutes. Always remember, when you do have questions, don't panic if you have them after we get off the call, because we do have an amazing support team here that would be willing to answer questions, walk you through things, different things like that. So having said that, does anybody have any questions for me right now? Oh, and by the way, the blog that will be attached to this What's Up Wednesday video on the YouTube channel will lay out everything we talked about. So it gives you exactly what we talked about. So if you don't remember some things, you can go back to that blog through the What's Up Wednesday YouTube channel. The link is always in the description of the YouTube video. You can go there to check out the content. So does anybody have any questions for me? Which website, okay, here's one question. This is a good question. Which website has the most pictures? You can actually, for the property websites, you can upload as many photos as you want. I have seen property websites with as little as 1, which is not good. And I have seen property websites with over 300 photos on it. So it just depends on the listing, on the home, but at least 20 photos, at least. Any other questions? Any questions about what we covered today? No more? All right, guys, just remember your phone number, your personal information, all good to go. Property website description typos, lots and lots of high definition photos, and a really descriptive property website description. Just some key things to help you get those property websites looking really, really nice. So remember, next week we're covering personal websites, and don't forget to subscribe to our AM Network YouTube channel, our regular YouTube channel for What's Up Wednesday, and then join the Facebook community that you can find on your dashboard. Everybody have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Bye, everybody.